All right, welcome into episode 71 of Are You Cirrus? I'm really pumped about today's episode. We're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I was trying to think of titles, creative titles.
I've got a couple in my head,
Okay,
but
cool.
I'm not going to reveal those just yet.
All right, yeah. The planning on how we can get this in here, but we're excited because we have our boss.
Our boss.
Our boss.
Our new boss.
Our new
Yeah.
boss. A lot of exciting here. I'll let you do the honorary induction. Episode 71, our new boss is here.
Our new boss is here, Jennifer Blake.
Hello.
News director for WMBF News.
Yep.
We're going to jump right into it. Who's your favorite, me or Andrew?
Jenna.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Fair enough. She's quick. She's quick and she's witty, and I like that. I like quick and witty. Yeah. Welcome to Are You Cirrus? Apparently, you're catching up.
I am.
You're on episode 6.
Yeah, I just finished episode 5. Although I've listened to all the episodes since I've got here, so I've listened to the new ones, and then I'm going back.
So now you're
That's
going back.
got to be torture, and I'm sorry. Because I feel like now we kind of know what we're doing. Early
Okay.
on.
She disagrees. She's like, do you?
Early on, I don't think we knew what we
Yeah.
were doing. They were probably cringeworthy. What do you think?
I find them very interesting. Like the whole history of WMBF.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that one was
that
kind
was-
of interesting.
yeah.
I guess it does help out, yeah.
How you guys got to where you are.
Okay.
Which was some of the first ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they weren't bad.
A little get to know us. Oh,
They weren't
good.
bad, they suck. No,
And now we're going to get to know you.
Okay.
it sounds so scandalous.
Sounds terrible.
No, it's fun. So you kind of had a rip-roaring start at WMBF News. Your first day was March 3rd, 2 days after the Carolina Forest wildfire.
Yes.
You came in on a Monday, and we were in
mean-
full-on breaking news wildfire coverage.
Go big or go home.
That's right. Trial by fire, which may be a
Literally.
bad way to say it, but yeah. Yeah, so
Yes.
let's back up. Tell us where you're from, where you came here before this.
I've spent the last many years
Yeah.
in Rapid City, South Dakota, where I started my television career. I've done everything behind the scenes, from running teleprompter to directing to audio board to, yes, I'm old enough to run tapes, and was news director at the Gray station there.
In Rapid City, South Dakota, which fascinates me because places like Rapid City and the Dakotas, I love the weather there because it's so wild.
And supposedly it's one of the most difficult places to forecast.
I would fully
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
agree.
I mean, I probably could. Yeah, I could, but I don't know. but I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's right at the base of the Black Hills,
Yeah.
so there's times when the storm will jump over Rapid City, and there's times where it'll get stuck over Rapid City.
Your car still has massive hail dents in it,
Yes.
which I'm obsessed with.
That's cool.
I love the fact.
I like that.
I love.
Yeah.
It's a little thing I do when I'm in parking lots. I'm like, oh, they were in a hailstorm. Oh, they were in a hailstorm. Your hail dents outdo any of our hail dents. You got big
Yes,
ones.
I
You got
win.
big ones.
I
We
win.
don't get that kind of hail around here.
Guinness Book of World Record. Largest hailstorm. Largest hailstone. Vivian, South Dakota.
Vivian, South Dakota,
Been there.
8 pounds.
Yeah.
No, 1 pound.
Yeah, it was
1
like-
pound.
8 inches.
pounds?
Yeah, 1 pound. Pound and a half and 8
8
inches in diameter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, memorable storms in Rapid City, because I know there's got to be a couple that come to mind.
I'm going to say Winter Storm Atlas.
When was that?
It was October 2013.
2013. Big one.
It was huge.
Yeah.
So the weather had been really nice. It had been warm. Farmers and ranchers still had their cattle in the summer pastures. It started as rain. Rain turned to snow. Heavy, wet, heart attack snow.
Yeah.
Do you know what heart attack
Oh
snow
yeah,
is?
we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know a little bit about snow.
Okay. And so, but the leaves hadn't fallen off trees yet. So you've got that heavy snow on top of the trees,
Yeah.
on top of the leaves. You've got branches that went down. Personally, we were out without power for about 24 hours, and then it was
Yeah.
sketchy for another couple of days. But there were people who had no power for 72 hours longer, for weeks. It wasn't for another year until they got all of the power lines
Yeah. Wow.
fixed. Millions of dollars lost in cattle deaths.
Wow.
Because again, the cattle were all in the summer. They weren't in the winter pastures.
Right.
Were closer to the farm, to the ranches, barns.
And the interesting thing about there, kind of like Denver and other cities kind of on that side of the Rockies close to it, you get your big ones in either spring or late fall. I mean, you get big ones in the winter, but the big
Almost
ones.
always in the spring.
Yeah.
In Rapid City.
Yeah.
We get the most moisture in like March, April, May.
Yeah.
A Mother's Day blizzard is not unheard of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it melts right away.
So we come from Rapid City.
Yep.
Snow and freezing cold. We had a big snowstorm this year, 5.5 inches. What's
She
it,
laughs.
Right. What's it like adapting to the Myrtle Beach lifestyle? Because it's got to be completely different.
I've not unpacked the sweaters. Those are still boxed up.
and you won't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets cold, but it doesn't get Rapid City cold.
No.
Yeah, my winter coats are in a closet on the other side of the house because
Yeah.
I probably am not going to need those. It's kind of nice to be in a place where a 4-wheel drive is a luxury and not a necessity.
Are you adapting to, like, Myrtle Beach is different.
Really different.
It's really different. Are you finding that out? Like, what are your thoughts on Myrtle Beach?
I'm
You could be
loving
honest.
it.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
You know, I lived on the East Coast for a couple of years.
Yeah.
In Virginia. So it's fun to be back. And the weather. I can't complain
I
about the
know.
weather.
We've had a good stretch since you got here.
I'm good luck.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that holds.
And again, a hurricane can go in any kind of glass.
Yes.
I was about to say, we're definitely going to get to the happy hour there.
Yeah.
Because we've dabbled in happy hour talk before. So I got to ask, first impressions, you come into WMBF. I wasn't here for your interview.
No, you
I was at Disney.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get to meet you, but I heard raving things. What were your first impressions of WMBF News when you walked in? Once again, you could be honest.
Does our boss want? No, I'm just kidding. No, I love the fact that you guys are such a great team.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to have to impress a whole lot of people.
Yeah. That's a tall task to come in and try to impress not only like one or two people,
Yeah.
but a whole staff.
There is a whole staff.
A
Yes.
whole staff.
Yes. But I felt pretty confident by the end of the afternoon interview when one guy says, "When can you start?" So that was pretty nice.
Well, and that was going to lead me to my next question for Jamie is, and we can both say, what were your first impressions of Jen?
Immediately good.
Yeah, same.
Good.
Same.
All the right answers.
studied.
And I'm not trying. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But also the quick wit. And I
Yeah.
love somebody who can be quick with me. And I
Put
like
you in
that.
your place.
Or put me in my place a
when
little bit.
needed. When needed, yeah.
But when needed, can also, get the job done. And so far, so good.
Thank you.
I have no complaints. It was one of those where I felt like I was late to learn. I heard nothing but like, Jen's amazing, Jen's amazing. Here's this, here's this. So when we finally got to sit down and talk, one, I appreciated your background, and I told you that for broadcasting. But I was like, I'm a big energy person, like, and just the positive energy that she puts
Yeah.
out, the quick wit, and I feel like you're very easygoing unless you do something wrong. Well, we haven't done anything wrong yet, so hopefully,
Not that we've heard about.
yeah, right.
Or not that she's found out about.
This is where it all gets spilled. But no, it's been a joy. And how long have you been here now?
6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks maybe.
Okay.
So you're still literally just getting your feet wet.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I wonder if I still have a password for something.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions on this one? Now you can really let loose.
Now, I knew Jamie had been here for a while.
The
I
Godfather.
I didn't know it was since day one. He asked some, weather questions, so I tried to blow him off. have a producer background, and when the weather guys start talking, eventually they're not going to listen to the cues. You just shut off their mic and move on. And I think I actually said that in the interview.
No, what impressed me was I asked about sort of your
Just my
input
philosophy.
into your philosophy on weather and covering weather, and you simply said you guys are the experts,
Yeah.
which is good
Which is music to our ears.
because there are some bosses and news directors out there who are trying to make calls and
I mean, as you guys both know, I will ask all the questions so that I can
Yeah.
make an informed decision. But when it comes to calling a first alert day,
Yeah.
one of those things, that's your job, not mine.
I'm actually looking forward to working with you on a big event.
Same.
I think we'll have fun. We always talk about, we don't want to see damage or destruction, but as weather geeks and as news geeks, things like hurricanes,
Look,
it's kind of what we.
the thing is that in this business specifically, if we're having a good day at work, somebody's having a bad
Really
day.
bad day.
Yeah.
And whether that's on the weather side or the news side, except for maybe sports. Well, even then, the other team lost.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yeah.
If we're having a good day, somebody else is having a really bad one.
Never really thought of it that way, but it is so true.
Yeah.
Like even when it comes to us and we're talking about even on the weather show or the weather podcast, tornadoes or hurricane
Yep.
season, like we're fascinated with what's happening and we know it's obviously a natural disaster, but even here locally,
Yeah.
people are tuning in because either A, they're terrified or they want to know, hey, when can I expect that to go downhill? As far as your news upbringing,
Okay.
I want to what about weather and news excites you? Like what, for us, it's severe weather. Like
Right.
we're here.
Right.
What's some of your passions in the workplace?
Look, I'm nosy. I want to know
I like that.
all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? I want to know, what's going on. And I'm also kind of a crime buff. I come by that naturally. So I want to know, what's going on with this case and how did this happen? And I just want to know.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is good to know. Speaking of crime buff and
Yeah.
things of that nature, you've penned a couple of books.
I
hear.
have.
Yeah.
I have.
Tell us more about that.
So they're under a nom de plume.
I don't know what that means.
It means I used a fake name.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, I forgot. I'll use smaller words next time.
As I took a sip of coffee,
I'm-
that came out.
I'm a painter, not a writer, so
I am at a table full of artists.
so your nom de plume books.
I know.
whatever.
So I have two mysteries that are set in the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I've got some great stories with those too. Like my dad was a cop, and so when I was writing my first book, I called him and was like, okay, can I do this? And what about that? And he had me a speakerphone. He hadn't retired yet. So we were talking it through, and he was like, all of a sudden I hear, yeah, okay, hold on. Oh, it's my daughter, sir. She thinks she's going to write a book. Turns out the sheriff had been listening. And here's my dad telling me like what kind of gun to use and what about this and why this would work. And so, yeah.
Oh, wow. How'd that end up going?
I dedicated the book to him.
Oh.
I want to pick that apart real quick, the book. So when it comes to writing a book,
Yeah.
what's that process like, even just for creatively, like thinking about a story? Like, how does that work? I can't think about just the forecast, let alone, but like the publishing and the writing, like,
Right.
how was that process for you?
A lot of it is just sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
There's a level of discipline that goes into it. You have to sit there and actually write the words. You can have 20,000, like in painting, you can decide you're going to paint 20,000 things.
Yeah.
But if you don't put the paint on
Yep.
it doesn't matter. And then I was lucky the first query letter I sent out was accepted. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I'm
So
just
maybe you'll
thinking
write a
like
Myrtle Beach book.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of my plan.
Really?
Oh,
Ooh.
Yep.
I like it.
Ooh, it's
I wonder if there will
exciting.
be a meteorologist in there.
I hope so. I really hope so.
That's the thing. You never know. What I find funny is that people will either think that they'll see themselves in it, or the people that I actually put in there, they don't see themselves at all.
Wow.
I have so many book questions. So you're writing the book, you know the ending.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big reader, but when I read, my favorite books are true crime or thriller.
Right.
There's been a murder, and then there's the twist.
Right.
So I'm assuming your books are along that realm.
Yes.
When you're writing, you already know how the twist and all that's going to come together.
Yes.
So you're writing to convince me that it's not that person the entire
Right.
time.
Right.
Wow.
And,
I should read
Right?
more.
and
You would love some of these books.
my mom is like a huge Agatha Christie fan.
Okay, yeah.
So Agatha Christie, if you follow her stuff, there's a clue about every, I think it's 3 to 4 pages. There's actually a clue in there. And so I
I did not know that.
when I'm done with a book, I send it to my parents.
Okay.
My dad reads it for police procedures, or did I mess up the caliber of a weapon, or whatever.
Yeah.
My mom reads it to figure out who did it. And if I can get her to change her mind 2 to 3 times, I win.
Wow.
I don't know what I win, but I win.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It does.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Well, and then also, too, like, I feel like I would just shorten the story. Like, you have to be creative enough to keep it going. Yeah, I don't have the patience for that. But I enjoy reading them. You should try it. I think it's more like a whodunit. For me, and you know this probably from work, I can't sit still.
Yeah.
I like to get up and walk around and talk. So reading for me is hard to sit down and
Yeah.
just fall into a book. I don't know. My mind drifts off.
So where do you like to go for happy hour?
Yeah, right? Next.
I haven't found the best place yet. So
All right,
I've
all right.
been, one of my big goals is to hit a different restaurant or happy hour every weekend.
Which is
Okay.
a great
So what
goal.
have you hit?
Oh man, I didn't write these down.
Mm-hmm.
Last weekend it was the Grumpy Monk in Carolina Forest.
Fun.
So that was fun.
Huge menu.
Awesome
Overwhelming menu.
They have a certain
Great
set of glasses
food.
that I'd prefer you not drink out of.
I don't
the
think
next
they
time
have
you're
them
there.
anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't when I was there.
Okay,
I
good.
think they can that. That and the Sneaky Beagle.
With a certain other person's face on it. But go ahead.
Got it. And they had, a good guy playing the guitar in,
Yeah.
in the corner, so that was nice. I think I'm going to try to head to maybe Barefoot's Landing this weekend. So.
Oh, that's my end. That is
Maybe
my
not.
end.
You perked up really quick.
You know me.
I
I'm
know.
I'm a north end
North.
cheerleader. Come north. Come north. Come north. What else do you do for fun other than write books?
The last couple of weeks has just been unpacking my
know.
house.
Yeah.
It took a long time for my stuff to get here. And then the movers did not label a single box. So it's been like Christmas. Every box that I
Oh,
get to
look.
open has been an exciting
Something new.
adventure.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate moving. I do.
Yeah, I'm never moving again.
Okay.
Never.
That
Well,
means
that's good.
We'll
Yeah.
make up for sad.
Yeah. Until she writes a book and forgets all about us and it blows up.
It blows up.
About a murdering meteorologist.
We have
Who's going to play me?
Ideas.
right. It's like this character sounds familiar. Jamie would never read the book, so he
Yeah,
would
no.
never
Right,
know.
right.
I would go to the movie
I'm safe
if
there.
I knew.
But if you
it
do a
was
Myrtle
about me.
Beach book, we can promote it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even have it at our podcast
Yes,
finale.
3 or 4 people at least would buy
Wow, that many.
it. Yeah,
Nice.
I know,
Nice.
right? Yeah, it was just 2. Andrew's parents.
Right. They're up. We're up to 4 people now. Emily would buy one.
Yeah.
We have to ask. Jamie is a Cosmo guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bourbon guy. Your drink of choice for happy hour or at home?
I really like rum. So anything rum based.
You know how to ask it.
Yeah, I can do rum. I'm going to try this,
Oh.
and it may fail,
Okay.
but it's just kind of fun. We're going to switch it. So now you're going to ask us some questions.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
like
she
it.
just gave me a look like, yeah,
This is good.
open books.
I'm asking you questions. Okay,
Yeah.
how did you get started painting?
Oh,
I've always painted. I've just always painted. Honestly, I'm old, and I would occasionally come across Bob Ross literally on PBS.
happy little
I
accidents.
was like, that looks fun. that looks fun. So I got a painting set for Christmas one year
Okay.
when I was maybe 10 or 11 and painted it. And actually I was like, oh, okay, I'm pretty good. I always did really well in art classes.
That kills me when people are just talented like that.
And then it's always been sort of back and forth. Like I would get into painting and then I would take a couple years off and then would get... We're trying to do breaking news, trying to do a podcast here. So yeah, I would go back and forth, and never really any kind of formal training. I just sort of try, and I've thrown away a lot of canvases. Yeah, or painted over a lot of paintings. I've got a whole closet full, and now I don't know what has happened. I've gotten so obsessed with painting like the last year that maybe it's just a stress relief. Maybe it's because I'm old and that's what old people do. We paint and watch birds.
And
that's what
puzzles.
And puzzles. Like I look I look forward to the weekend to get up on Saturday morning and like look at my new bird feeder to see if I can find a painted bunting to pop up. Like, oh, there he is, and I get so excited. And then paint. So,
Okay.
But yeah, so now I'm really into it. And also, just in case this business doesn't work out, maybe I can fall back on art.
That's why you're doing the artwork.
Yep. Yeah, just in
Oh
case.
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, between painting and puzzles and gardening,
We're old. We're old. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, now, Andrew.
Well, Andrew doesn't have a lot of spare time. Toddlers take up a lot of time.
What?
He's pretty self-sufficient by now.
right. He does everything. He drives to school. We take him. Yeah. No time at all.
So, I know you don't like to just sit around.
Yeah. That's a good question.
So what is your hobby? Not puzzles, because that's the sitting.
Yeah,
kind of
sitting
thing.
around. A lot of yard work,
Okay.
which sounds like cruel, but I love to cut grass and do, trim things in the backyard and watering and like just always doing something. I walk and run religiously, like 4 miles a day. Yeah.
Someone chases you?
Yeah,
No.
right.
How's that?
Yeah, walk the dog, go play golf. I'm a big golfer. But yeah, I just love to be outside. And then if I do relax, it's usually at a pool or
There you go.
grilling out.
You play the guitar.
Play the guitar.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
creative,
Play
though.
the guitar. It is. But I don't write anything like that, or I have to play the guitar. Play the guitar. I used to play the piano. And then, the sitting drum, the cajon, can play that. But most people can play that if you have rhythm.
Oh,
So,
like
the
you play that?
Yeah, I have one. Do you want me to bring it in for you?
That would be so awkward.
Next
I
episode.
would be embarrassed.
Next episode.
you
Are You
imagine?
Serious?
For you.
The Are You Serious band.
You should come up with our next little Are You Serious theme song. You can play
Jingle?
the bongos or whatever you play.
You can play that, and I'll play the guitar. And
All
we'll
right, yeah.
get Lauren on the vocals.
Give me a tambourine
Right,
and we're
could you
set.
imagine? I used to play the mandolin too, but I came from a music. I think the reason I never pursued music as much is my dad's family is so talented in music that I always felt like I was sufficient, but not good enough to.
Not at that level.
Correct, right? Like they could hear a song and just play away, and I'm like, okay, what chord is that? Got it. But it's also, like you said, time. So time is a big thing for me. So,
Yep.
and then sports, anything sports wise, I'm big into that. So, yeah, fun stuff.
All right.
Should we shoot the breeze?
Let's shoot the breeze. You're familiar with how this works, right?
Well, hopefully.
Shooting the
I've
breeze.
heard the podcast.
Okay. All right.
We-
And we have guests get involved.
I know.
When we
We-
get questions.
We didn't shoot the breeze until like episode what? Like 5,
Oh, I don't know.
6, 7?
Also, while you're looking for questions, Andrew forgot to do the
Oh yeah, I'm
March
sorry.
Madness.
I did so much show prep that I forgot to show prep the March Madness Championship.
So next
we'll do
week.
that. Next week. Well,
Yeah.
not next week. 2 weeks because of the Myrtle Beach Classic.
Myrtle Beach Classic.
Yeah.
This will be fun for you to answer. How do you come up with your forecast? Curious, Jay.
Okay, so
Take it away, Jen.
here's the forecast. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Outside will be temperatures,
Yep.
and within the next 12 hours, it will be dark outside. Back to you.
Perfect.
She told me that one day. I was
I
like,
know.
that always verifies.
Yeah, always.
Certified
I
most
mean-
accurate.
Always.
How do you come up with your forecast?
There.
It's not like we go into it, and I don't think this is any meteorologist, where most of us are weather geek enough that even when we're like off work, we're looking at data, we're looking at models, you know.
Yeah.
So it, you know, even on the weekend, you know, I don't come in on Monday and like, oh my
Blind.
God, it's gonna what's happening? You know, we're just always kind of looking. So.
Yeah.
To me, it's always forecasting kind of going on in my head. But then when it comes to the day-to-day job, it's kind of the middle of my afternoon is when I do my forecasting. I come in, answer emails from the boss or whatever has to be done, kind of get some things done, and then kind of settle in. And sometimes when it's like nothing going on, I mean, it's quick. But if it's honestly an all-day process every day.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
whatever you're doing the day builds into the next thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're on social media, which we have a really good team when it comes to social media and forecasting and staying aware. Like I've worked with teams before and meteorologists before where I don't think they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
Like it was
right.
they checked out.
Yeah.
But like even if we're on social media, which I know you and I are like addicted to, even that kind of is us forecasting for what's coming next
Yeah.
or what's happening now. So for those that are interested in getting in the business, I would just say to always stay connected. First thing I check is radar and the temperature.
Yeah, and
When I
even
wake up.
radar temperature and depending on the time of the year, it's almost always models. We're getting all once we get into hurricane season, the first thing I'm gonna do every single morning
HC.
is pop open, look at the GFS, look at the Euro, see which one's trying to crank something out in a couple of weeks. But like even this morning, I got up, had coffee, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably going to end up bumping rain chances up for this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, that's always just kind of twirling around in my head. Things
It's
like
almost
that.
like, and I wonder if you're like this too, Jen. Working in this business, especially now,
Yeah.
it's like you can't stop. Do you have that problem?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I love how
I'm
you're smiling.
always,
Like, yeah.
I'm always
Yeah.
looking at that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
what's the story? What have we covered? What didn't we cover? Why didn't we cover it? How can we cover it better?
Yeah. It just consumes you.
It
does.
Like this business.
It
Weather,
does.
news.
But
all
because
of
it's a passion, not in a bad way.
it. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Not in a bad
Right.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Consumes you in a good way.
Good question, Jay. Good question. Also, we got a lot in there.
What's something you would recommend to students who are wanting to pursue a career in broadcasting? We'll start with you on this one.
What the news director handle it.
Wow. Don't do it.
Do your research.
Yeah.
I've talked to students who didn't want to work weekends or didn't want to work holidays. Yeah, it's part of the business, right? What else? Yeah, do your research. That's the big one. But know what you're getting into. Know that you can graduate from the best school or the not best school,
Yeah.
and that part doesn't matter. It's can you do the job and be willing to learn.
Yes.
Because when you graduate with that piece of paper, you do not know everything.
No.
You got a lot to learn still.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that apply though, and I've noticed this in like younger meteorologists who think they do know everything like right away. You know, I'm noticing that more.
And I get it. You come out of college and you
Confident.
want to, you're confident because you just did this thing. And you're like, I'm going to go change the world.
Yep.
Which is great. But wait your turn. Sit down and learn a little bit first. Because
Yeah.
you're, what, 22?
Yeah. And there's reasons that we do things that we do, right?
Yeah.
May not make sense until you understand
Yeah.
the why.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be quiet and understand the why.
It's a good quote in life.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many people I want to be quiet. Oh, it's your turn. Or no, it's your turn.
Oh gosh, it's my turn. Okay. Not really a question, but more of a thank you. Thank you for diving into the why of the forecast.
Oh,
You two are both great. this kid was on here. That's from this.
You're not saying that?
Nice.
Not many meteorologists are doing what you are both doing, and that's from Aaron.
Oh,
Thanks.
thanks, Aaron.
Here, take another one. Aaron, that's kind of
I
you.
have to do another one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I mean, unless you feel that way too. Then.
It's been a while since y'all talked about happy hour here in town.
Oh, there we go.
Any new spots we should try out?
There
Who's
we
that
go.
from?
That is from Tracy.
Tracy.
Not our Tracy, Photog Tracy.
Yeah. Let's see. I did do a new one, and I can't think of where it was. There's a new restaurant up on the north end. I can't think of it. It's by the candy store, like 76th Avenue. It's
There's a
across-
lot of candy stores
It's
in
a
town.
cro- yeah.
Say, that doesn't narrow
You know,
anything
Pancake
you
down.
know the
houses.
one by the beachwear store?
By the Eagles.
It's across from Fiesta Mexicana.
Oh.
And for the life, Uptown Bistro. Uptown Bistro.
I've been there.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
It is
it's
beautiful
I've
inside.
been there.
Good happy hour. When I was there, they still didn't have the outside open, so I'm excited to go back to try the outside because it looks like a really nice outside area, but a good.
That was good. It was
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was really good. I had some of the food. The food was amazing.
Food was really good. Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. I believe that is the same people who also do Soho.
I don't know. I
I
think
think
that
it
might
is.
be right, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Where else did I do? A lot.
I'm trying to think of. Well, I go to so many places to eat, but I can't remember what was happy hour and what wasn't. It's hard to do happy hour with a toddler now because like pickup time is usually like 5, and it's like, have you had a Canteen Imperfecto yet?
I've not.
We've been living there.
Yeah, it's really good. Beautiful restaurant.
Beautiful.
Big city
Okay.
restaurant. Also up on the north end. The north end is kind of where it's at.
But not too far from where we are to where
Okay.
you feel like you're all the way up there in the north end.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Mexican food, more what you would get in a bigger city,
Okay.
but so fresh. Their tableside guac.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and it's just a beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
Chuck's. Well, let's go back to the old standbys.
Oh,
Chuck's,
yeah.
which has been here since 1979.
Okay.
It's an old steakhouse, and it still looks like 1979, kind of on the outside.
Okay.
Inside
Doesn't match the outside.
doesn't matter. Inside is beautiful. It's like a lodge. There's mounted
Nice.
animals everywhere, and it's wood. And the happy hour is in the bar, and then there's also a deck that overlooks the waterway. And then you'll love this. There's also a little step up, tiny dining room in a library, and you're drinking and eating surrounded by books. Here's the thing about Chuck's: for happy hour, you have to be there at 3:45 because all of us old people get there early because happy hour starts at 4. And if you wait till 4:15, you're not getting in for happy hour. So you
Okay.
like go on a Saturday, knock off early on a Friday. We'll be fine without you. Get there at 3:45 and do Chuck's. $5 martinis. They also have free popcorn, free chips and cheese.
Right.
And it's just amazing. It's old school steakhouse and it's beautiful.
Okay.
And I know you love steak. It's fantastic
Do.
steak.
Fantastic
I do
steak.
love steak.
Fantastic steak.
One of my other favorites is Martini
Yep.
up on the north
That's
end.
a classic.
Okay.
Again,
It's
Martini.
a top 5 for me.
Yep. Yeah, Martini.
Okay, so we got Martini, Uptown Bistro, Chuck's. What was one? The Mexican.
Cantina Imperfecto.
Cantina Imperfecto,
Yeah. I
think that was
Imperfecta,
everything.
whatever it is. Yeah.
That's a good start.
Yeah, that's a
point.
good start. And you'll notice a trend. They're all up north.
I can think of plenty south, but we'll stop there. Who was that? That was Aaron? No, Aaron
that-
was the compliment.
That was Tracy.
This was one I already said. That was Jay from the forecast.
Ah.
New to town. What are some ways in which we can prepare for hurricane season? Just trying to figure out what to expect.
Welcome to town,
That's from Sam.
Welcome to town. Number one easiest thing to do is know your zone.
Okay.
Know your zone. Figure out what zone you're in. What zone are you in?
I had no clue.
Wow.
Love the honesty.
Okay, so figure out your zone. That's the first thing you need to do to know which evacuation zone you're in, A, B, or C.
I think you're C.
I think you're C.
Pretty sure as news director, I'm not.
You're not evacuating?
So
Yeah,
it doesn't
same.
really matter.
Right, I'm B, also not evacuating. You're
C now.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They changed them all up.
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year.
If we ever get C, we're in big trouble. If we ever evacuate C again, we're in big trouble. So figure that out. stay tuned through hurricane season because things change. And I'm not just saying that.
Download the news app, download our weather app, and watch our hurricane special.
And watch our hurricane special. All of that, plus on a day-to-day basis, whether it is the app or social media or Twitter or Facebook or the newscast, because things change. Things change quickly in hurricane season. And we can go from a storm that, we're not worried about this one, to, oh, wow, this is a threat, to, oh, this is, we've done all this. This one's coming in. This could hit as a historic Category 4 hurricane, and 3 days later it's limping ashore as barely a Category 1.
Yeah.
We've done all that, and it's a long 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. I was going to say hurricane fatigue is real.
Yeah.
And I don't say that because, we're going to be screaming from the rooftops, but what I would recommend to Sam or anyone new is just, even if it's a quick glance on our app or on the news, hey, because...
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
Or all three.
Yeah.
You're
of the above.
you're going to get the first alert to whether it's a cluster off the coast of Africa.
Yeah.
And each day, obviously, or something that's homegrown, that will at least walk you through. And then you'll know, based off our tone, when it's time to start paying really close attention.
Yeah, ignore the hype from the basement
lot of
backyard
hype.
meteorologists that say Cat 5's coming next week. Be prepared. That's going to happen all the time.
Yeah.
And just, like I said, know your zone. Figure out your plan. Your plan has to be specific to you. We can't tell you what to do. We don't know your specific needs. Do you have kids? Do you have a pet? Do you have a cat? Do you have elderly parents that you want to take with you? There's so much to consider when making your plan. We can give you the basics: food, water, shelter. That. Figure out your plan.
Yeah, it's good.
And
How
we're
do you
going to
feel
help
about
you do
hurricane
that.
season?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Again, it all goes into the same cup.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be different than a blizzard. But I'm kind of not too nervous about it. You can
There's
don't think
nothing
there's
to be
anything to be nervous
nervous
about.
about.
drive in it. It seems to go faster than a winter storm.
I mean, you shouldn't drive in it. Wow, she's got a lot to learn.
Hey, I didn't say you should. I said,
I mean, reporters and us
our
will,
crew.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
right.
yeah.
I mean,
No.
in this business,
It's what they have to do.
it's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think after there definitely is some similarities on the winter storm coverage. A big winter storm and a hurricane. Like when we covered in 18 inches of snow in eastern Kentucky, it's a process. And I feel like a hurricane's very similar in that retrospect. The thing I love about a hurricane that you just can't describe to anyone until they experience it, it's just the sounds of this building, the sounds of the wind, the sounds of the rain. Even if you're home, just there's nothing else like it. It's like the strongest summer thunderstorm.
And there's one of my favorite things is usually like the night before, if it's going to hit the next day or if it's going to hit at night the morning of. And there's just this like energy because everybody's like, no, God, but there's nobody on the street and it's just slate gray, but you can just feel it. You can just, there's just that energy in the air and it's excitement and it's fear and it's nervousness and it's, I love it.
Yeah. Because at that point, it's like, all right, did everyone listen?
Yeah.
Right.
Now
Because here we go.
Yeah. And then the worst part is, come on, let's,
I got places to be.
yeah,
Right.
let's get this thing going now. Let's get this thing going so we don't eat all our hurricane snacks before the storm actually hits.
Right?
Yeah.
Which we're an 80 bunch when it comes to hurricanes.
Right, yeah.
That's our last question.
Last one, then we'll let you go and get back to work. Curious to know, has there ever been a time on camera when you felt nervous? Every time where you felt at a loss for words? Every day of my life.
Jen's saying right now.
Always.
I don't really get nervous anymore.
I think when you start out, obviously.
Yeah, obviously starting, you're just terrified for your life every single day.
Yeah.
For a couple
sure.
of years.
Yeah.
Get more
And-
butterfly feeling.
I'm more comfortable now talking to a camera than I am to an actual person.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Says a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. But
We're
yeah.
talkers. I don't think I've ever been at a loss for words.
You have to be a talker to be in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
and especially to be on that side of the camera. I prefer the other side of the camera, but I think that's just because I like being in charge. I like being able to run
have
the.
that in common.
I mean,
I love it.
I like being able to run the camera, and I heard I wasn't allowed to run camera for you the other day. That's what I heard.
Oh no, you can. We can talk about that.
But I still like doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather be behind the scenes so that I can control it.
I love that too, that you're willing just to pitch in and not just like door shut, just
Yeah.
not gonna care. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
helps out so much.
Yeah, I don't get nervous. Like I said, I'll get a little bit of anxiety, especially if it's a big event. If
A little bit of that is good, though.
is good.
Yeah.
Like
It keeps you on your toes.
yeah, like if we're going into a hurricane or even like the
Right.
snow we had, not that was like life threatening, but it was. I knew that like okay, this is as far as events go, this is
Right.
big, and I need to have my A game on, and it. That's usually speaking of choking up. That's usually like I'll just sort of in that break before showtime, just
Yeah. It's
A
like
deep
an
breath.
adrenaline rush.
yeah,
It's like, hey, this is
Yeah.
it, like the prep for whatever it might have been, whether it's a week of forecasting or even the show prep, the vigorous show prep on some of those things.
The TV part of the job for me is like the easy part.
Yeah.
To me, I consider showtime is like my break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's my break for the day. Like when the show starts, because I can't really do much else when you're in the newscast because
Right.
you're doing hits every
Yeah.
couple of minutes. So that's when I catch up on texts or scroll Facebook for a little
Go
bit.
look outside and look up.
Look, see, make sure. No, oh my God, it's raining. I didn't know that. But
happened.
yeah. And then Jamie, you're on 30 seconds. Oh, okay, here, and then go. Yeah.
I mean, that describes it for me. I don't have anything to add to that. Any questions you have for us? Thanks for being on here.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll have to have you back on eventually.
Yeah,
A follow-up.
yeah, right.
How much you
After
hate us.
hurricane season. Yeah, right.
All right, we can do that. We can do that.
After.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll have some live podcasts that I'm sure people could come out and meet you and all that too. So, anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. She's busy. I'm busy. Let's all get back to work.
Yeah, you probably need to get back to work.
All right. Sounds
love it.
good. We're not going to get fired today.
Not today. One more day.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We'll see you 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
after the classic.
After the classic.
We'll
Have a
see
good
you.
one.
Thanks.